Greetings, and welcome to this episode of the Blues Radio International podcast with Jesse Finkelstein and myself, Audrey Michelle, featuring our very dear friend, steady Rollin Bob Margolin. Enjoy.
4 o'clock in the morning, and the rooster is crowing for day.
Now you know, this is my own Pinetop Assistance League video. Pinetop himself was my friend since 1973, so let me tell you. The first time I saw and heard the music of Pinetop Perkins on piano and singing was in the early 1970s when I went to see Muddy Waters Blues Band in Boston. Pinetop appeared to be of Muddy's generation, and indeed, he was born in 1913. He was already close to 60, which seemed impossibly ancient to a 20-year-old. He was much older than my parents. He sounded deep and powerful, both sweet and strong. His slow blues broke my heart. His boogie-woogie rocked us. Backing up Muddy, his piano phrases supported Muddy's voice and guitar. Singing the song on his own, he gave us deep blues or joy and fun. Nothing hurt, and nothing else mattered. It was a thrill for me when I joined Muddy's band on guitar in 1973. One of the best parts of that dream gig was sharing music and friendship with Pinetop. He was the oldest, and I was the youngest in the band, but we had a generation-skipping bond, musically and spiritually. I loved the old-school blues he played, but his youthful spirit taught this young man how to have a good time on Muddy's bandstand. And after the shows, we would go out together to find another bandstand, to play some blues and party with the soulful people who love blues music. We both left Muddy Waters Band in 1980, and to ease that painful parting, I immediately found some gigs for us together. After that, I didn't see Pinetop as often in the 1980s and early 1990s, but whenever we got together, blues music and friendship was there, as if we had played together every day. In 1998, we were on a tour in Japan together, but after the first 2 days, I got the news that my father had passed in Florida. I told Pinetop I had to leave the tour early and go back to the States to be with my family. He put his arm around me and looked into my eyes with his 83-year-old eyes and said, "I'm your black daddy now." With that personal experience and love, I am even more dedicated to carrying on Pinetop's spirit with the Pinetop Perkins Foundation. Very soon, we began the annual Pinetop Homecoming shows every October right after the King Biscuit Festival at Hobson Plantation in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Pinetop would make a friend of all who met him, enjoy the music, and sometimes play for us himself. His manager, Patricia Morgan, made Pinetop's wishes real, forming the Pinetop Perkins Foundation, and our first workshops were held in 2010. With 96 years old Pinetop himself right there to enjoy it and inspire us. I'm proud that I suggested adding guitar classes to what would have been small piano workshops. Now the workshops have grown to include many instruments and singing, and bring the young and young at heart into what Muddy Waters called old school blues, either to carry it on or to use as a foundation for their own music. The Pinetop Assistance League is the second mission of the foundation, to help with the expenses for older blues musicians who need not just appreciation, but financial help. Suddenly, and right now, and for as far as we can see from today, pandemic is bigger than an elephant in the room. The Pinetop Assistance League gets more applications for help than we can fulfill. Everyone in the blues world's gigs are canceled till when? The Pinetop Assistance League has run out of funds, and we are putting applicants who need help yesterday on a waiting list until when? So please donate if you can. Thanks for whatever you can do, and we hope that you are healthy and safe. Hello there, come on in. Welcome home. I'm at home whenever I have a guitar in my hand. When I started teaching guitar at the Pinetop Perkins Foundation Masterclass workshops, I tried to bring the spirit of what I learned from Muddy Waters when I was in his band in 1973. I had Pinetop on this side of me, playing the piano. I had Muddy on this side of me, playing guitar where I could watch what he was playing real close and learn from him. I'm going to play that style of Chicago blues in this song called Kansas City. It's one that Pinetop used to sing every night when Muddy would give him a song to sing. And Muddy liked it so much that when we did the Muddy Waters Woodstock album in 1975 with Levon Helm and Paul Butterfield and Garth Hudson and Pinetop and me, Muddy said to Pinetop, I'm going to take that song from you. I'm going to do it on this album, but I'll let you sing a few verses. Let's all go to Kansas City now. Kansas City, here we come. Gonna Kansas City, here we come. They got some crazy little women, and I'm gonna get me one. I'll be standing on the corner, 12th Street and Vine. I'll be standing on the corner, 12th Street and Vine, with my Kansas City baby and a bottle of this Carolina wine. Well, I may take a plane, I may take a train, but if I have to walk, I'm gonna get there just the same. Gonna Kansas City, here I come. They got some crazy little women, and I'm gonna get me one. Let's go, boys. City, Kansas City, here I come. They got some crazy little women, and I'm gonna get me one. They got some crazy little women, and I'm gonna get me one. They got some crazy little women, I'm gonna get me one. Kansas City, take me with you when you go. One song that Pinetop did every night that he played was so old that Pinetop learned it when he was a teenager. It was originally done by Leroy Carr, and it asks the musical, personal, spiritual question: how long? Has that evening train been gone? How long? How long? How long? I can hear the whistle blowing, I can't see no train. In my heart, it does ache and pain. How long? How long? How long? You'll be sorry you've done me wrong, 'cause it will be too late, and I'll be gone. How long? How long? How long? if I could holler like a mountain giant, I'd go up on one of these tall mountains and I'd call my baby back. How long? How long? How long? One of Pinetop's favorite songs to play was Caledonia, originally done by Louis Jordan. He did cool versions of it ever since I first saw him in Muddy Waters' band, all the way till the end of Pinetop's life. I got to play it with him and with Muddy hundreds, maybe thousands of times. It was a real thrill for me, and that song is so much fun. And I still don't know why Caledonia's head is so hard. Do you? If you find out, please tell me. Baby, she got great big feet. She's long, lean, and lanky, and had nothing to eat. But she's my baby, and I love her just the same. Oh, I love that woman. Caledonia is your name. Caledonia, Caledonia, what makes your big head so hard? Boy, I love her. Love her just the same. Oh, I love that woman. Caledonia is your name. Now you know, my mama told me I should leave Caledonia alone, but you know what? Mama didn't know what Caledonia's putting down, but I did. So I believe I'll go back to her house one more time, one more once, and when I get there, I sure am gonna ask her. Caledonia, Caledonia, what makes your big head so hard? I love her just the same. Oh, I love that woman. Caledonia is your name. You know, my mama told me I should leave Caledonia alone. Mama didn't know what Caledonia was putting down. If she knew, she wouldn't have minded at all. I'm gonna go back to Caledonia's house one more time, gonna knock on the door, and I sure am gonna ask her, Caledonia, Caledonia, what makes your big head so hard? I love you just the same. Oh, I love that woman. Caledonia is your name. I'm crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. I'm crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Oh, I love that woman. Caledonia is your name. I'm wild about you, baby. Wild about you, baby. Tore up about your mama. I'm crazy about you, baby. I would love that woman. Caledonia is your name. of the deepest experiences of my life took place at the original House of Blues in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I was from the Boston area, and there were people in the audience that I had known all my life, people I'd gone to school with, people I'd played in bands with. But what really broke my heart, what really filled my heart at the same time, was looking at Pinetop Perkins on the bandstand with me. We were there with the Muddy Waters tribute band, which was all the people that had played in Muddy's band when I was there in the 1970s. Of course, Muddy himself was there in spirit. He had passed in 1983. Pinetop sang the song, "Going Down Slow," and it just tore me up. And I felt the past, the present, and the future all together. Thank you, Pinetop. This is for you. I have had my fun. If I don't get well no more, I have had my fun. If I don't get well no more, my health is failing. Oh, I believe I'm going down slow. He's right, my mama. Tell her the shape I'm in. Please write my mama. Tell her the shape I'm in. Tell her to pray for me, people. Oh, to forgive me for my sins. On the next train south, look for my clothes home. On the next train south, look for my clothes back home. Now if you don't see my body, all you can do is moan. is all in my prayer. Mama, please don't you worry. Ooh, this is all in my prayer. Just say your son has gone out in the world somewhere. And I sing this part for Pinetop. I see your smile above me. While I play these blues for you. You see my tears below. Love forever is really true. And goodbye is just not right. So I'll just say good night. Thank you so much for listening. And please remember the Pinetop Perkins Foundation and the Pinetop Assistance League to help blues musicians who need your help right now. Thank you so much. My name is Steady Rollin Bob Margolin, and it is an honor to play blues for you today.
Thank you for tuning in to this special presentation of Steady Rollin Bob Margolin for the Pinetop Assistance League. We hope that this video has inspired you to help the Pinetop Assistance League. For more information on how you can do that, please see the link in the video description. Now, stay tuned for a special question and answer session with the one and only Steady Rollin Bob Margolin.
On Blues Radio International, it's Jesse and Audrey continuing our viral, antiviral world tour with a return trip, as we are delighted to do, to High Point, North Carolina, to the home of our friend Steady Rollin Bob Margolin. How are you, Bob?
I'm happy to be here. The honest answer to how are you is the usual. Blessings and challenges.
What is the experience like teaching young people who don't have the experience you have, but have this burning desire to play blues?
That's an excellent question. And there's an excellent answer to that. In 2010, we started the Pinetop Perkins Foundation masterclass workshops. And at first we started out with let's just bring piano in, but we didn't get more than, 3 to 5 people applying to do that. And I said, I bet I know what we could do. If you make a guitar workshop in there, we just have a lot more young people playing guitar than we do piano. And I said, and I've got some experience doing workshops from the ones that I do at Jorma Kaukonen's Fur Peace Ranch, which is a guitar ranch. I would do a workshop up there called Raw Chicago Blues. And it is.
Very raw.
And it's something that guitar players can add to their repertoire, or if they feel it, they can actually go live their life around raw Chicago blues, like I did.
So, Bob, say I'm a young musician. Hi. So say I'm a young musician and I know that I'm interested in blues. How would I become involved in a Pinetop workshop? How does that work?
We have a wonderful website and a Facebook page that leads to the website where you can find out a lot more about it and sign up for a class. Now, the guitar classes are so popular that they get signed up for people sit there at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve waiting to try and push the button so that they can be one of the first ones in the class, because we limit the guitar classes to I think it's 15 people.
And
because
sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, because more than that in one room at the same time, it gets a little too crazy. We found that out the hard way. Okay. I'm not the teacher anymore. I did that the first few years, but we've had John Del Toro Richardson and being a guitar teacher. We've had lately Fiona Boyes has been doing it, and she's magnetic. Plus some of the students that get a little older and get a little more experienced become interns. But I could tell you some more stories about just say the guitar classes. In the first years that we had the guitar class going, which I think was 2011, there was a young man from Clarksdale, Mississippi in the class who hadn't heard much deep blues, but he had an attitude in his playing. When it came time, he was just a natural at it. And when it came time for him to take a solo, he would step right into it and hit it really, really hard. And with a lot of power and depth. He didn't just go crazy and play every note he could and stand there and shred, even though that was most of the music that he'd heard at the time. He just had that natural ability to step out and be a powerful musician and performer. And I asked him, "Have you ever heard of Freddie King?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Well, when the class is over, come off to the side with me." And I just pulled out an iPhone, which is something I couldn't have done 20 years ago, and went to YouTube and got one of the Freddie King videos, a live video that I knew was a real good one. And I said, "Watch this." And his eyes lit up to hear the power of Freddie King, who was a very, very strong performer, guitar player, and singer. He was a real big guy, yet he had a very, very high voice. He could sing so high, and it was just beautiful. And having seen him live, he played really loud. Most of the clubs that we used to go out to, the sound person would say, "Oh, you've got to turn that down," if somebody besides Freddie King did it. But it was just very, very powerful music. And I said to this young man, "You have that same thing. You step into your solos with assertiveness, authority, and power that Freddie King had." And he knew what I was talking about. I wasn't surprising him, or he didn't think I was blowing smoke or anything like that. I said, "You've got that." And these days, Kingfish is one of the best-known blues musicians out there, and very powerful.
And are there any prerequisites to sign up for the workshops?
They are not for beginners. We don't teach you the beginning of, how to find notes and play guitar. But for somebody that has a little bit of experience but wants to learn more about blues and add it to their own music, or even pursue it as a lifetime religion almost.
And so you had said, because of the whole pandemic, that the workshops that would typically be held in Clarksdale, Mississippi, are now being held online. And you said that some really amazing things had happened last week. Did you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, having been home for 3 months, I never thought I could be so moved by a Zoom meeting. And as the musical director, I didn't set the agenda for a class, but I just kind of drifted around from class to class. They call them breakout rooms. And I would go in there, and if the teacher in that class wanted me to say something, or if the students had any questions for me, I would mostly watch, but I would try and contribute a little bit. I would try and talk about their instrument in the context of other instruments within a band, and talk about the classic way of that each instrument has a role in the band, and how you interact with each other people on a bandstand, either in a show or in a jam. And rather than just say, "Here's how to play some blues on this instrument," because there is more to it than that.
And are you finding that the kids are thriving in the virtual environment?
Well, first, let's say in the real environment, it actually took on more than the sum of its parts and became a real family. And there's a lot of people that are in that family already that were returning. And there were some new kids that were going to be going this year that didn't get to experience it in Clarksdale. But even online, they've written to us and said, "Oh, this is really special. We love it." One of the things that the young folks really like to do is play blues music with somebody besides the old farts that they usually have to hear playing it. And that is as it should be. But they become friends and start friendships or bands or musical associations with each other that are really that's really exciting. And I think that came through in the virtual workshops too, except at the real ones they would have had time to hang out almost 24/7, and they don't seem to sleep that much. They get up early in the morning and they stay up late at night and jam together, even beyond the formal jams that go well into the evening on a stage in a club at Hobson.
And how often are these workshops held?
Annually, usually in June.
Usually in June. And you're, I'm assuming that you're planning to be back together again in Clarksdale next year.
Yes, we are. Who knows what's going to happen between now and then? The news changes so fast every day, and the impact of the coronavirus is going up and down like a roller coaster, a little predictably, but I can't tell what things are going to be like a month from now.
You're passing along something that's going to carry through the generations in a resounding way that we can only imagine at this point. So thank you for all you're doing to make sure that this incredibly vital and vibrant music stays a part of our culture and is carried on into the future.
All I can do is relay that thanks to especially Muddy Waters, who took me in the band. He couldn't have possibly thought, "Oh, this guy's a great blues guitar player. I have to have him here to augment my music." He definitely wanted me to learn. He deliberately put me on his right side most of the time when the stage setup worked out that way, so I could watch what he was playing and learn from it that way. And there are so many pictures taken where Muddy's sitting there playing with his eyes closed, doing something deep, and I'm standing next to him going and watching him.
Well, he chose the right disciple to carry this forward, because look at what you're doing. Look at how many people now can play Muddy Waters and hear Muddy Waters the way it's supposed to be played and heard. And it's because of you and the great work of the Pinetop Perkins Foundation across various instruments. Really, if anyone has any doubt about the future of the blues, go look at what the Pinetop Perkins Foundation is doing, and you're going to feel a lot better. So thank you, Bob, for joining us today and talking with us about this important subject and giving us all some very important young people to pay attention to for the future.
Yes.
It certainly was my pleasure, and thanks to both of you for making this public to your wide audience among all the different subjects you cover, from doctors to astronauts to musicians to well-known ones to ones that may be very well-known someday but are extremely talented already. I appreciate what you're doing, Jesse and Audrey. It's really special, and I'm honored to be on the show.
We love you, Bob. Thanks for joining us today, and take care.
Thanks so much again to both of you and everybody out there for watching this.
Okay. We love you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Amen.
Blues Radio International hopes you'll join us in supporting the Pinetop Assistance League and enjoying this very special performance by Steady Rollin Bob Margolin.
You're listening to the Blues Radio International podcast with Jesse Finkelstein and Audrey Michelle.